Good morning. The mic was muted. Good morning. Welcome to the Pitcher Chronicles. I am Taz here with you all on this Wednesday. Hope everybody is enjoying their week. I am looking forward to today and tonight. I'll get to that in a moment. But good morning, and make sure if you got the chat already burning up about last night's WBC game between Italy and the USA. But before we get into a lot of the comments and the discussions for today, make sure you do hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out. And what I want to start with is, the one comment, and I did not get a chance to see the game after a crazy work, with work. But did Mark DeRosa was he substituted by Aaron Boone because that lineup yesterday was atrocious? And not knowing what was going on within the rules of the game and how the tournament works was definitely a Boone move. As now USA is on the verge of not advancing, and that to me is a huge problem, as they were the favorites to win this thing. And I think the other Dominican Republic you talked about the other day is going to be a huge task to overcome, as there are a couple of stacked lineups. But look, Italy handled their business. They took care of it. And Mark DeRosa, this is all on you. Sorry, it is what it is. When the team fails, the leader takes the fall. So that's that. But I want to, we've been talking a lot about a lot of various things, but I'm looking at it through spring training, and it kind of seems like, something's missing. There's definitely something missing this spring training, and it comes into them running it back. And we now have a spring training where there's no competition. Like, where is the guy coming in where you have two guys competing for a position? And that's the risk that has been run. That's the risk they took running this back from last year. Is everybody's kind of very complacent. Like, they know they're going to play. And to me, that is a big, big problem. And I'm just, it's something that's not sitting well with me. We brought it up the other day. Donald went into it, and Donald did a great job holding down the fort. I hope I do my best to kind of carry the mantle that he set. It's been a while since I've been solo. So with that, and I know we got Luca sitting backstage. So let's bring in Luca as he joins us. Luca, how's everything been? Let's put a pause in the Yankee chat. Luca, how have you been?
I've been good. Happy Wednesday to all. Happy Wednesday morning to all. Hope everybody is well. I hope everybody didn't watch the absolute crap storm that happened yesterday between Team USA and Team Italy. They really beat up on us, and Mark DeRosa basically said we got our butts kicked in, and the Yankees. U.S. is now on the verge of elimination. So I've been good. Hope you've been good, Tats, but clearly Team USA ain't doing too good, especially after the fact that Tariq Skubal, I'm not going to say it's a controversial subject, but people are not exactly happy with Skubal right now that he quit on the team amidst a very, very important year for him, because it is indeed a contract year.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely, I had said, I'm like, it's almost like, DeRosa was doing his best Boone impersonation, messing with the lineup and not knowing what was going on. That is definitely a Boone move. I know a lot has been being put on with Judge and with making the last out and all that bullshit. Look, he's not. It's a baseball is not all. You can't put it all on one player. There was a whole lineup that could have shown up and didn't. Yeah, Judge was part of it, with making the last out in that fashion. But it's it is what it is. Look, I think the WBC is starting to grow in popularity worldwide. You're seeing a lot of various teams really getting into it and starting to take this thing seriously. Unfortunately, DeRosa did not, as he was confused by some of the rules. But that's here nor there. Yeah, Issy, what's going on? Yep, Luca attached. Yep, we're here for you. We're here for you. Before we go any further, um, just wanted to point out tonight. You'll see it if you have your notifications on. Will be the debut of Northrop on the short porch, as Chris Northrop is returning to the Pitchlight Chronicles. She will be hosting her show tonight. First episode, and all I'm going to tell you is you might want to tune in because it'll be a roundtable with some phenomenal guests, and very, very dear friends to the channel. So she really pulled the rabbit out of the hat to make her first show back a very special one. So make sure you tune in 7:30 p.m. So please join in and let's show Chris some love. One thing I brought up also, Luca, is we have a situation in spring training where there's kind of no vibe to it. It's kind of very dull. And I'm equating that to the fact that we're running the same team back. And it really, there's no competition for any positions. So you kind of tune out a little bit. Like Spencer Jones has already been optioned down. ERC's already been optioned down. I think that's a mistake. I wanted to see the two of them go a little deeper into the spring before they were optioned to kind of see, all right, let's really test their growth to see, to anticipate when they can make the big league roster.
I agree.
To me, that's
I
that
completely agree.
to in the spring. Look at how hype we were in the spring training when you had Volpe and Peraza fighting for that shortstop. We were locked into every game. Look at like analyzing everything pitch by pitch. Every defensive play, every movement of their feet. We were watching everything. We were locked in, and we're kind of getting robbed of that this year.
Yeah, it's by their own choice. Tats, you
Yeah.
mentioned two prime reasons why spring training's been dull. I mean, the lack of competition, it comes down to you option Spencer Jones way too early. I mean, what is it? Today's March 11th. We're not even, what are we, like 2 weeks away from the end of spring training? Something close to that? You're not even giving him a fair shake. It's already decided that, okay, you're starting your season in AAA. So we're going to rely on the likes of Trent Grisham and Cody Bellinger to carry the weight. And Jason Dominguez will just be our fourth outfielder who we may or may not trade, whatever. ERC being optioned, there's no competition within the pitching staff. And they've mentioned how many times that I don't want Garrett Cole or Carlos Rodon to be heavily relied upon early on in the season to where they can't progress normally coming back from injury. That's a major concern of mine. Same thing goes for Clark Schmidt. So at the end of the day, you're right, spring training has been boring to an extent because there's been little to no competition. As I said, Spencer Jones is sent down. ERC has been sent down. Bullpen, I don't know what we're doing there. It's just like, meh. And you know that they're running the same team back. You just know it. There's no outside addition that says, oh, okay, this guy's going to challenge that guy. Like, okay, we have Max Schumann. Who else in terms of the infield? I mean, yes, we have Vivas and Rosario. Yeah, they've been there. But, like, it's just kind of like, eh. I think fans just want to see the regular season pan out and obviously the playoffs too. But it's like there's no fun. And spring training, I get it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody to watch. It's not supposed to be the most it's not the best product for the eye because you'll be seeing players making occasional errors or whatever. And obviously, we know that George Lombard's not making the roster right out of the gate. We know that. But I guess I was just remarking on, yes, it's not great for the fan perspective, but it's important for the players in competition. It's almost similar to like NFL preseason. Obviously, the preseason's been straight down to 3 games a couple years ago. But
Mhm.
still, there's just nothing that interesting because the roster is essentially okay, set in stone. No little to no competition. That's why fans are disengaged. That's what
Yeah,
I think.
it's. I think disengaged or disengagement is definitely where the trend is. Yeah, and to me, but I mean, part of it is paired up because one, my schedule has been absolutely horrendous. With work, where I'm getting a lot. I've had to take up a lot of extra hours. Like I have 2 guys that retired. They haven't replaced yet. So there's a heavy workload on me, and the rest of the guys I work with to kind of pick up the slack. And so I'm not able to engage live during the games as I usually do. Even with the WBC, but I'll still be, I still have my off day I scheduled, opening day. I'm looking forward. I always look forward to that. You know, I'm, it kind of bothers me that I'm not bothered by it. I'm like, yeah, it's spring training. All right, yeah. Right, opening day, March 26th, 8 p.m., San Francisco. I'll be in front of the TV watching the game, just loving every second of it. Consuming as much pregame, postgame as I can, whether it's on TV or other channels on the Yankees YouTube network. But it's I really wanted to see. I wanted Lombard and Spencer, ERC. Like those are the 3 guys that I really wanted to go the distance in the spring. And be the last one sent down. Like if there was very little life in spring training to begin with, now there's no life at all. Like there's nothing to look, especially when what do we have 9 guys in the WBC? Like what do we what's to tune in for? Yeah, and half the games you can't watch, you can't listen, and that's something that I think is a huge problem. It's also the accessibility, especially in the year with the WBC, and I think this particular year it does intertwine. Um, and because I do want to get into a little bit of the WBC and the accessibility of it, so I think that's going to be a big problem. As far as fan engagement, it's very different. It's a very different vibe this year, and I don't like it.
Yeah, in terms of, I mean, the WBC, obviously, it's on any major channel. Like yesterday, I believe the Italy USA game was on Fox. For the Yankees, I mean, this has been a problem for a couple of years now, Tats, where home games for the Yankees, there's about a 50% chance they're going to be
Mhm.
broadcast on yes, or you're going to end up listening to them on radio, or maybe sometimes you won't even have the chance to listen to them on radio because it's like as you mentioned, like where you're getting the action. I remember like years ago, you would have to. I mean, you're gonna. What the whole thing is, you might have you with. And I sorry, apologize for stumbling here, but like in the
Yep.
past, you like in which leads up to now, it's like you're making people pay for an MLB.TV subscription who normally wouldn't pay it just to watch spring training games. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh, Yankees, Blue Jays, they're playing in Dunedin, right? Not on MLB Network, not Yankees team is traveling. Oh, you're gonna have to watch on the Blue Jays network, and you know how you're gonna have to watch on the Blue Jays network? You're gonna have to get an MLB.TV account. That doesn't work for me. So I remember many years ago, the Yankees played the Red Sox in Fort Myers, and I remember, yes, actually broadcasted that game. I couldn't tell you how long ago that was. That was at least what? 14, 13 years ago. That was years upon years ago. Now it's like, okay, Yes is doing select games now. And then the other portion of the home games, you're just like SOL, shit out of luck. Either have to be there, you have to follow the game day. It's just not a win for consumers whatsoever. It's not a win for consumers. Why would I be subscribing to MLB.TV if I'm just gonna if to watch spring training games? It's one thing if you're doing streaming like the entire season, fine. If you're out of market, fine. I mean, that's a whole nother nonsense. The whole RSN thing, that's a completely different conversation, but it should be this inaccessible to watch spring training games. And that's what fans want to hear to start the year. They're like, okay, I want to get into it. Like for all of us, I'm sure. I want to hear the Yes theme song. Da 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 da. Like that gets us into the baseball groove of the season. I want to hear the crack of the bat. I want to hear all these different things, like the very sparse crowd at spring training games. That doesn't help. That doesn't help whatsoever. You're not getting fans ready for the season when they do that. Fans instead are having to get ready for the season when opening day hits. So it's like you're not exactly pre-gaming very well.
Yeah, good morning, Donald. I see you in the corner over there. We're gonna throw it to you. I just wanted to comment real quick on Lucas' point there. It's the whole thing, like with the accessibility. Part of it is also my frustration with the regular season. How you need 15 different apps, and it's almost like you have either your network like in the NFL, you have your network TV, or the NFL network, like there is a lot of accessibility. They do. It's a little pricey, but you don't need 15 different. It's probably cheaper to buy the NFL package than to get all the apps to watch baseball. I think if you add it all up, you're probably saving a lot of money just being a football fan rather than a baseball fan. And that's something that really hasn't sit well with me. Because I actually spent less money watching football than watching baseball. And football is still is the premier sport in America right now. They are the king of the crop. Baseball is trying to hold on to survive as one of the big four, and it just seems like they keep strangleholding the fans on how to access it. That's a big problem because you could pay for I could pay the money for the MLB app and get all the games, but because I'm in New York, I can't access the New York teams because it's in market. So I'm paying for a package for a team that I can't watch. And or you got to pay for the Gotham app? Where I had when they had the Yes app, right? I had that. I went to visit my family in South Carolina, but I was out of the network. I was, so it wouldn't let me log in from my parents' house. So all right, again, I wasn't able to sit and enjoy a baseball game with my father because you can't, I wasn't in my home. So now I got to, pay another subscription for something else so me and my father could watch a game. It's just money, and I understand money, they have to make their money. One, these players make exorbitant amounts, and a lot of the TV deals is how the teams get their money. It's just going too far. I'd rather just have cable back where everything was on one thing, and just call your local cable company and be like, all right, I want to up my package another $20 so I can get all the channels. God, I miss those days already. And for some of you guys that have never dealt with cable, you have no idea how good we had it. Donald, I'm going to throw it to you. I'm going to rewind the tape a little bit. because I do want to get your take on this, and it's the fact that when I say
Daylight
something's
savings
missing, is
time is throwing me off, guys.
you're all good, bro. You're all good.
Daylight savings time is throwing me off.
I hate daylight saving. They should just get rid of it. The one thing that's
Oh, wait,
been
you
missing
guys
from
are
spring
wrong?
training
Oh,
is that
shit.
competition. Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
competition for a position because they're running it back.
Right. So yeah,
So
I can see you guys have covered a whole.
Oh, we were all over the place today. It's all right.
Right. Yeah, I can see there's a whole spectrum being covered here. Just to touch on your later point regarding accessing games being more difficult than ever, I completely agree with you guys because think about me as an expat. Use MLB TV for instance, right? Mm-hmm. But if I come home, and come back to New York, I can't use MLB TV. It's only for the out of state package. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then when I'm in New York now, I have to find someone else to get the S network. You have to use the fucking Gotham app. There's always different apps, and it's very, very difficult, and it's stupid. But that's why I kind of cut out the middleman. But it has nothing to do with MLB TV. It's just Brian Cashman rolling it back. That's why I canceled my MLB TV subscription. I'm disgusted by Cashman rolling it back. So yes, I'm looking at the spring training, for instance, as the reason why I'm kind of disgusted. Spencer Jones is having an unbelievable spring. Jason Dominguez is showing that he can actually hit from the right side. He looks unbelievable. You have guys like Rodriguez Cruz, who we all like. All three guys arguably should be on the big league team. And all three guys got demoted to minor league camp. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Spencer Jones has earned an opportunity. Jason Dominguez has already earned an opportunity. And these opportunities are not forthcoming because Brian Cashman decided to roll back a roster which is broken. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. And now you're just watching meaningless spring games. There's no meaning behind it.
Yeah, it's definitely like
there's
if there
no
was
meaning
one player. Go ahead, Donald.
Behind it, like 1,000. You go.
You're freezing up a little bit, Donald.
You know, you could bat 1,000. It's annoying, frankly. I just find it frustrating. Because there's no battles that are worth a shit. You know what I'm saying? What are we going to watch? This bullpen? A no-name bullpen? You know, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Normally, there's something that you're watching. Like in previous years, we were like, oh, there was a battle between Peraza and Volpe for the shortstop position. There's nothing. Yep, there's nothing.
We think alike, Donald.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I mean, I feel bad for Spencer Jones. I really do. I feel bad for that kid. That kid is 25. He should be on a big league roster. I feel bad for him. He's having a monstrous spring. And what's his thanks for that? He gets reassigned to minor league camp. What's Trent Grisham doing on $23.5 million? But there's no accountability there because he's being paid $23.5 million, so he's guaranteed a spot. I just think that it's a weird way of building a roster. It didn't work. Cashman?
Yep.
Hey, Brian, your roster didn't work last year. It didn't. You could gaslight us. You can moan that it's the media or it's your ungrateful fans. You can complain that oh, you ran into a roadblock in the Blue Jays. You can lie and swindle all you want, but the truth is you got knocked out in the ALDS and you didn't even win your division, and you're rolling that entire roster back. And you're telling your fans that you're a bad fan if you don't like it. Well, fuck you. Fuck you, Cashman. And by the way, Spencer Jones should be on the big league roster. He shouldn't have picked up his qualifying offer. Spencer Jones should be playing center field or left field or whatever fucking field. He should be on the big league fucking field.
You know,
And that thing for Jason Dominguez. Oh, he can't hit from the right side. Well, he hit pretty good from the right side last night. But you never
it's amazing when you're allowed to put the work in.
Fucking unbelievable.
Well, and that's the point of why I'm frustrated and disengaged from spring training. Like, where's ERC's chance to make the roster? You know, and put a little more strength into the bullpen. You know, where's Lombard? You know, having Volpe going, holy shit, I better get my shit in gear because I could be out before I'm back. You know, where is the competition for Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones to, you know, from Spencer Jones, I can make this roster if I just have a little more patience at the plate. You know, or Dominguez going, you know, I better really work on my fielding. Otherwise, I'm out. That's where everything is falling apart for spring training. Because nobody's job is at risk.
Yep.
As much as we're enjoying seeing Caballero at short, we all know it's temporary. You know, they're all, and I already heard the whole narrative. Well, you know, he's not an everyday shortstop. You know, the more he plays it short, the more he's going to get exposed. How do you know that? How do you know? This is Caballero's he's not a pushover. He's a solid player. Maybe the more reps he's getting while Volpe is out, his game elevates. What a concept. But no, it doesn't matter what he's doing. Pardon me. It doesn't matter what he's doing on the field. As soon as Volpe's ready to come back, boom, back on the bench.
Yep.
And it's bullshit. And that's why this team is there's no desire. There's no, like, we're not knocking down the walls going, come on, let's get the season going. This is our year. Like, there's no rally cry to get, to really have these games matter. Because the front office has sucked the life out of us. Because they are so smart, they can't get anything right.
It has sucked the life out of my enjoyment. This is the first time in 3 decades I've not watched spring training. I used to love spring training. It used to be fun. I used to be able to relax. Used to be able to enjoy the experience. Something to enjoy. And yeah, I have to say that the Yankee front office and the media that defends that front office it's just kind of watered down my enjoyment out of this time of year. This is the time of year where everybody starts with a blank slate and everyone has hopes and ambitions and dreams moving forward for this coming season for your favorite team. But when it's run so cynically by Brian Cashman and it's run with such sniveling arrogance and delusion, which he runs it now, with the way that he speaks to fans like we're all fucking idiots and we didn't see what happened last year, it waters down, your enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels like you're having to fight against your favorite team. And I don't want to do that. That's not what it's about. But I'd be lying to myself if I did otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I would be lying to myself, and I'd be lying to you guys that I'm talking to right now if I felt great about this year rolling back the same roster which lost the division series. You know what I'm saying? And then you're signing guys like Paul Blackburn and stuff because you didn't do any scouting. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sign any Japanese free agents, because you have no international development team or international freaking scouting team or anything. And I'm supposed to trust this process. It just feels like it's being run with complete contempt. And I'm calling it out. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. This offseason is the straw that broke the camel's back. Normally, I'm able to kind of wash away any issues and be kind of excited going into this year. Heck, it even happened last year, and I was gutted we lost Soto. But I was like, you know what? I'll give this team a chance. Let's go, but this year was different for me because they've run this whole thing back and there's nothing to watch. There's not a battle. There's nothing interesting. And it's a shame. And I don't want to wait till Spencer Jones is 27 before he possibly gets a couple of at-bats in the majors. I mean, what are we doing here? What is he going to be 30 by the time he reaches arbitration?
Well, I think that
that's absurd.
Sorry, Donald.
Yeah, no, I know I'm pissed, but I've had it.
Really?
It's frustrating. It's like, this is not how you build a roster.
I haven't heard you this happy in a long time.
How you build a roster? There's $23.5 million you could have allocated to your infield, and then you call up your two best prospects, Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez, give them a position battle, right? That leaves one position open in the outfield to sign a free agent. If it has to be Cody Bellinger, fuck it. Okay, I'll live with it. But there should have been a position battle for the other spot. And then you allocate that $23.5 million to upgrade your infield. That's just common sense. And then, and also your pitching, because this bullpen looks really raggedy. It's a raggedy ass bullpen. So, I don't understand. And apparently we're bad fans if we say that. And fuck that.
Yeah, Chris is saying the whole I want to get to some of the comments here as we're a half hour in. If you want to drop your comment, it's very easy, very free. All you got to do is hit that sub button and you'll be able to drop your comments in the chat. Everybody watching on Facebook and X and listening on Sportswire Radio, always appreciate your tuning in and watching our shows as well. But you said she's saying the whole international scouting is being overhauled. But this was not the season to overhaul it. You wanted to wait a year where you didn't have 5, 6 top guys that were obtainable. To not have an international scouting department is negligent.
Exactly, brother.
I'm going to steal a word from Donald. His favorite word. It's malfeasance. And it's it shouldn't be tolerated.
Isn't the timing malfeasance because they did it?
Yeah,
during that period, international.
It was insane. Well, wait, what the fuck?
Right. If you want to do it, great. Why don't you self audit after October? You had, if that was an issue, which it clearly was, why didn't you get it done as soon as you got knocked out against the Lions, the fucking Blue Jays? Why didn't you do it then? And then you have. Then you had 6 to 8 weeks to hire your guy that you want right in time for international free agency and your meetings and all that stuff. But you didn't do it because you're lazy. Right? And then Brian Cashman wasn't at the GM meetings a GM not at the GM meetings, but okay, we're supposed to just write that off. Okay, but he wasn't there. His idiot assistant Minaya was there, and he managed to blow the guy that went to the Mets. Was it Wandy Season? Whatever the fuck his name is. The guy went to the Mets.
It's like the way Cashman operates. I think he sits in his office and he manifests all these moves in his head, going, "Wow, that was a great off season." That'd be equivalent to me talking to my wall for an hour, going, "Wow, that was a great show." Meanwhile, I was never present on the air. It's that's how it feels. It's embarrassing. But it also comes down to it's a balance. Like we're clamoring, going, look, we got to give the kids a shot. If not now, when? And then we're going, well, Boone, they have to win a World Series. It's World Series or bust. And the Yankees have lost the ability to balance that out. You can still have some of these guys, some of these kids, start the season.
Yep.
And still make a good run. Look what we did in 2017.
Fact.
A bunch of unknowns pushed the Astros to the 7th game of the ALCS. They don't think that could work again? Why can't lightning strike twice in that aspect? So yeah, maybe getting a guy like Grisham for the qualifying offer for $22 wasted $1 million. If we would have started the year with Dominguez, Jones, and Judge, are we really complaining if they have a rough? Because that's the problem. If they have a rough start, see, another prospect that couldn't pan through. Why didn't they get a proven player? We're such a miserable fan base. We're never happy.
And we have. I mean,
we are never because if they win the World Series this year, we're gonna have to sit here and say, "Wow, Cashman had the right idea of running it back and having that, that team dynamic where they were, they didn't have to worry about getting comfortable with each other. They already knew each other, and he's sitting there like this, patting himself on the back throughout the parade, while everybody's throwing tomatoes at him because." Dominguez and Jones have been traded away.
But what is their plan for Spencer Jones? Let me ask, what is their plan for Spencer Jones? He's 25.
You don't have one. That's the problem.
Exactly.
You don't have a fucking plan for him.
Plan for him.
There's no plan for him. There's no plan for Volpe. Well, they're not Volpe. They have no plan for Lombard. They have no plan for anybody. They don't even have a plan for Rice. I don't know if he's going to be a first baseman or a catcher. And he's already been on the major league.
They don't have a plan for Dominguez either.
Dominguez, he's a switch hitter that can't switch hit.
Right.
They put him in left field where he's never played before and expected him to be a fucking all-star.
Right.
Because he's the Martian. And look, and I love Dominguez. I don't mean to, pick on him, but I'm sorry. It was a very underwhelming year. We did expect more from him. And I'm going to put a pin on my rant because, of course, the people come first. It's the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Again, we witnessed the captain not meeting the moment in the WBC. I'm tough on 99. I hold him to the Jordan Jeter standard. But the Mamba mentality is absent. But with Judge making that out, with the game on the line, that's exactly what I was afraid of. We did a whole show about it. How Judge is in a no-win situation. Because if he would have come through yesterday, it would have been like, yeah, but can he do it for the Yankees? And then all the guys that want to say that he can't handle the pressure go, see, told you so. That's the only issue I have with this WBC is the narratives around the players and the people managing. Are we really, yes, Mark DeRosa did his best, Aaron Boone impersonation yesterday. And he nailed it. He nailed it. Nailed it. Perfect. Right? You could have closed your eyes. You would have thought Boone was managing.
I did, actually.
And, you know, can the captain look? Can Aaron Judge meet the moment? He's met a lot of moments. He has.
Yeah. In this
yet,
WBC, by the way,
he's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I want to put this? You guys have I really want to get my thought right before I put my foot in my mouth. So if there's something you guys want to add to this.
All right. Well, what I'll say, Luke has been quiet, so
pretty quiet. Yeah. Well, he's had some traffic behind him. Is that Alex?
What I will say is Aaron Judge has.
And he did not say hello. Shame on him.
What I will say is Aaron Judge has stepped up. He's got like 1,000 OPS, and his very first at bat was a home run. And then in this game, he hit a home run. I mean, it's not like he hasn't shown up. So it's I don't want to be overly critical because again, the ninth inning hasn't gone to plan for him. It's hard baseball is one of the most difficult sports in the world. You're not going to get a hit every time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Steph Curry going back and going and hitting a 3-pointer. It's much more difficult than that. There's like tenths of a second. If you just slightly miss it by a tenth of a second, you ain't hitting a home run. That's what it all comes down to. So, I don't know. But yeah, let's listen. Does Aaron Judge probably need a WBC gold medal for his legacy if he wants to be in the same conversation as a Michael Jordan, Curry, Melo, Derek Jeter, that kind of range, LeBron, all that stuff? Yeah, probably. Because I can't see a ring in his future, a World Series ring in his immediate future. So, like, the WBC is his best shot for sure. But again, it's kind of like adding apples and pears. Like, if he doesn't come through in the WBC, doesn't mean that he's not freaking amazing. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the Yankees. If he doesn't come through in a big spot with the Yankees, I would look at the people around him before I would look at him, just considering what he carries on a daily basis, the load that he carries. And in the WBC, he's one of the only ones carrying a load right now. Like, a lot of guys aren't stepping up. So it's a tale as old as time. But I want to hear from Luca regarding all these talking points.
Yeah, I wanted to let you guys cook for a little bit. You guys had a great dynamic. But regarding the Judge stuff, kind of brings me back to 2022 and 2023. Judge had his 62 home run season, and I remember you guys were on a pod. You guys were doing a podcast episode. This was after the Yankees got swept by the Astros. You guys were describing how stressful it is to even commit to a home run chase, 62 home runs, then still make it to the playoffs. I think there's a happy medium involved. In 23, obviously, that team was also garbage. They missed the playoffs, the Yankees. I think there's a happy medium involved. You can criticize Aaron Judge for his lack of moments where he showed up. There's been some where he has. There's been some where he hasn't. One of them, obviously, can name is the World Series about it over almost 2 years ago. You could say the WBC, but here's the thing: does the WBC, in fairness, hold as the same? And not to disrespect the WBC, because it's the closest form we have to like basketball, where they have the FIBA and the Olympics and stuff like that.
Or soccer's World Cup.
Exactly. It might not be as big, but there is similar significance in terms of the sport and the relativity, all that considered. But just because he doesn't come through in the WBC doesn't mean he's not going to come through at all. Like, let me learn that in the postseason at least. I mean, Judge was one of 2 offensive contributors last year in the postseason, besides Ryan McMahon out of all players. So Donald's right, partially. He's in a no-win situation because he's bringing back the same lineup because the Yankees are bringing back the same lineup last year. And I know Spencer was on here Friday, and people are bringing up, this offense ranked among the best in the American League. And no, that's Aaron Judge writing his name all over the Yankees, putting up A-Rod, McGuire, maybe you could argue Bond's numbers. Just insane. The Yankees do not have these amount of years. They don't have a lot of Judge years left in his prime. You cannot expect him to hit 300, 330 for every fucking season with 50 home runs and over 130 RBIs. That's not possible. He's not fucking Manny Ramirez. I mean, Judge is great in his own right, so is Manny Ramirez. Not the point. How many more years are you going to waste for him? Donald, you said it. There's no World Series ring in the near future. There might not even be a ring in the future for Aaron Judge if he stays with the Yankees. And he obviously will throughout the entirety of his career. That's what I think is going to happen. But in terms
the Knicks are closer to a championship than the Yankees. They genuinely
the Knicks are. Yeah, for sure. Then I sent you the article, Donald, and you commented on it. Tats, I don't know if you saw this. This was written by Mark W. Sanchez, the New York Post. The headline, the Twitter caption is different from the article headline. Brian Cashman's fire to lead Yankees is still burning despite his peerless endurance as GM. Now, the article headline writes, Brian Cashman has no idea how long he wants pressurized New York Yankees GM job. Is that not kissing ass or what? I didn't even have to read a sentence, and Donald's lucky. He mentioned it to me. There luckily is a paywall behind that article, so I don't have to read that piece of crap.
Yep.
But regardless, I agree with y'all that I'm so disheartened by the way the offseason is gone and the media just pouncing on the fans. Oh, you guys are ungrateful, this, that, and third. All these little outlets because they're scared to do their job. We know what the fans are seeing at the end of the day. We know. We're not stupid. It's the same product as last year, and we're going to have the same fate as last year. Early first-round exit, whether that's the wild card or the divisional series, it's not going to matter. And, I know it's looking way long-term, but we've seen this movie so many times before. So many times. 2024 was the peak of this Aaron Judge era, so to say. But would you even argue that's the peak? Because the Yankees got completely whitewashed in the World Series by the Dodgers. They didn't even look like they were playing the same sport. The only guys that were carrying the team were Garrett Cole, Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton. You want to go 7 years prior? You could argue that was the peak of Yankee baseball with Aaron Judge. And Judge didn't even hit his peak yet. He was AL Rookie of the Year. Should have won MVP. Was not even at his peak yet. And yet that was probably the closest. And you could argue the most enjoyable team of the past decade. The most enjoyable team of the Aaron Judge era. Because
Let me jump on that because you're spot on.
Yeah, it wasn't
the 2 seasons the Yankees had a plan was 2017 and 2024. Those were the 2 seasons the Yankees had a plan, and those were our 2 best years. 2017, they decided, let's give these kids a chance. Let's give these kids a chance. We're giving them a full chance. And what did they do? They took us to the precipice of a World Series, right? And if it wasn't for cheating, they probably would have made it, right? Now, would they have won it? Maybe not. But, yeah, I think they would have guaranteed of made it to the World Series. That was 2017, right? 2024 was a different plan, but it was a plan nonetheless. That plan was, let's go all in on Aaron Judge. Well, still not all in, but at least they dipped their toes in the water of all in by bringing in Juan Soto. If they wanted to go all in, they should have gone all in, but they didn't. But they dipped their toes in it, and that was as close as we've gotten to going all in a while. And it was another great year. We made the World Series. Those 2 years had a plan. Every year, apart from that, they don't really have a plan. And this year, they do not have a plan. Their plan is to roll it back, and that is not a plan. So, and then look at, I agree. Here's interesting, right? We mentioned guys like Jordan. We mentioned guys like LeBron. You're talking about the stars of their individual sports, okay? Steph Curry, LeBron, Jordan, all those guys. Then you look at baseball, Derek Jeter, A-Rod, all those guys, okay? What is the common denominator with all those names that I mentioned? They had help. Michael Jordan had frickin' Scottie Pippen, for Christ's sake, right? Steph Curry had prime Klay Thompson. Okay. Yes, Issy, Tom Brady. There you go. He had some help with Gronk, right? Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and you go. Then you look at LeBron when he won a championship with Cleveland when he came back. He won it with Kyrie Irving was there. You know what I'm saying? They have help. A-Rod, prime A-Rod. What did he have? Freaking Derek Jeter, for Christ's sake. They have help. That is the common denominator. Patrick Mahomes and prime Travis Kelce was the best 1-2 punch. And they have help. What about Ohtani? There you go, Ohtani. Let's see Chris bringing up Ohtani. Ohtani, he has an entire all-star team in the Dodgers for help, right? What is the common denominator here? Aaron Judge doesn't have much freaking help.
No, can I intercept real quick? Right, because you brought up Ohtani, and this is something I thought about. I might have mentioned before, and it drives me crazy when people talk about like Ohtani with the Dodgers. Look at the roster that he had with Trout and the Angels for a while, and they couldn't get it done.
That's very true.
They failed. He did not win in Anaheim. So one player cannot catapult the team to greatness. You have to build around them. He had fucking Mike Trout, who is still a phenomenal baseball player. He's aging, but he's still, it's not like, he just turned, 50. Yeah, I know Trout's never healthy, but he's still Mike Trout. He still had that protection. There's still that protection, that duo in the lineup. And Ohtani couldn't get it done there. That's why he had to run away. Judge isn't running anywhere. We got A-Rod in 2004. What happened in 2004?
24.
Yeah,
you're right. A-Rod in 2004. You're right.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. What I said?
And Aaron Judge. I was thinking Aaron Judge in 2024.
He did not come through in the playoffs until 2009.
Yep.
So, and also, if you don't win a World Series, you're not great. Well, then Don Mattingly must be a terrible fucking Yankee because he didn't win a World Series.
That's it. I'm seeing a lot. Like, he's heading down Don Mattingly.
We can't keep moving the bar to satisfy our narrative and our frustrations. We're all frustrated. We want Judge to hoist the trophy. But I can't sit back and look. When did he's got Stanton. There are players around him. A-Rod had to get his on the backs of the core four. So I don't want to hear how A-Rod is this, this savior that got us the World Series.
Yeah, fair enough.
Judge.
So
what does he have?
How about I haven't mentioned Derek Jeter? Then if I mention Jeter, then you're looking at the entire core four. You're looking at all the help that he got from Mo and Posada and Bernie and Paul O'Neill and Tino Martinez, my boy. He had. So what I'm saying is, they all had help. And Aaron Judge, the last time he's had legit help was 2024 with Juan Soto. We had him for 1 year and we lost him, right? And then prime Giancarlo Stanton when we acquired him in 2018. That was really the last time that Aaron Judge has had a legit co-star. A lot of the time, he doesn't have co-stars. I mean, if you look at this roster, there is no co-star on this roster. And
No.
Big G is my boy. I'll be honest, I prefer Big G to Aaron Judge. He's my boy. Like, I love Big G, right? But you can only play like 1 in every 3 games. So I'm sorry, that's not really counting as a co-star, especially his time in his stage of his career. Ben Rice, he's still learning. He's still getting there. I love him, but he's still getting there. Jazz, come on, give me a break. What, freaking Volpe, give me a break. What, McMahon, give me a break. Bellinger, give me a break. Grisham, give me a break. So, like, Aaron Judge is on an island, and it's unfair. It's unfair on that guy. I'll say it. It's unfair on him. The first thing that the Brian Cashman should have done was acquire a co-star for Aaron freaking Judge. Bellinger is not a co-star. Bellinger is a role player, a very good one, a fantastic role player. But he is nonetheless a role player. He's not a superstar. He's not an all-star. He should have acquired an all-star. He didn't acquire an all-star. Yep. Aaron Judge needs that help. It's unfair on him. I'm just saying it. It's unfair on him. Harper, exactly. But Brian Cashman had too much of an ego to sign Bryce Harper because it was too easy.
Well, that's why I'm going to bring up this comment here from Issy here, and we're running short on time, but I want to get to a couple more comments. Because Judge needs to stop influencing the team to sign his buddies and guys he likes. Examples: Verdugo and Grisham. But when he was trying to recruit Harper. So it was because that came out too. He was really pushing for the Yankees to go get Harper. And, I don't know if it was he was still too young in his career where they didn't, take his advice seriously. But, look, Judge has an eye for talent, so I don't want to hear he only wants his friends back. Bellinger's a legitimate, Christian might there's always that one friend you hang out with that you don't really like, but you feel bad for, and that's Christian right now. But Bellinger's a legitimate fucking. I'm such a dick.
I love that. That's great.
Bellinger's a legitimate ball player. Plays 4 different positions. Team guy, never bitches and moans. Verdugo was a good play, and he just had one terrible year, and we had to move on. And so it's not that Judge is like, I don't care what your numbers are, just get me my friends. This isn't the NBA. It doesn't work that way. So
let's talk.
To put it all on Judge. Judge is not the GM.
No. Okay, what's your point, brother?
I wanted to intercept. You're all talking about this. I do think the Judge teammate stuff, I think, holds a little bit of water with the Verdugo stuff and keeping LeMahieu around. Tats, you brought up Mike Trout.
That's
perfect
true.
example. Dude's a 3-time MVP, has been to the playoffs once in his entire career, to just get whitewashed by the Kansas City Royals in 2014. That's a great call on that, Tats. You didn't even realize it. You were mentioning Ohtani with Trout, but 2014, Mike Trout basically had nothing around him. 3-time MVP, takes the Angels to the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long, like 5 years, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And they haven't been back since. Mike Trout has been he's been Damian Lillard, if that's ever a word. He's literally like Damian Lillard, except Lillard briefly went to Milwaukee for like 2 years. Obviously, that didn't work out. If you're an NBA fan, you know why. But just there's no build. Yes, Donald said it perfectly. Stanton was supposed to be that co-star next to Judge. He was for a bit. Now his body's breaking down.
Yeah.
Juan Soto, let him walk. And now Judge is standing at the train station when the train has left the station. I mean, it's give and take because I do feel bad for him. I do. But here's another thing, right? Michael Kay called out Aaron Judge's passive-aggressive comments about how Judge basically said it to the media before spring training, I want the Yankees. I don't remember verbatim what he said, but he basically was calling to action like, hey, we got to sign some more guys here. I don't remember what he said in quotes, but it was essentially along the same wavelength.
He said, we're the Yankees. That's what he said.
Yankees.
That's what he said. Are you telling me Michael Kay did that?
Yeah, Michael Kay criticized him.
Oh, fuck off. See, that's what we're up against.
He called it passive-aggressive.
That's what we're up against because there are paid media members that are there to defend the Yankees at all costs. And Michael Kay, who I used to respect massively, just talks out of both sides of his mouth, whichever narrative suits. He doesn't really have an opinion. Probably has an opinion similar to Aaron Judge, but he can't say it because he gets paid by the Yes Network. And the Yes Network is being paid right now to parrot this, roll it back is the way to go. And if you don't like it, then you're a bad fan. That's what the narrative is right now. And so Michael Kay is being paid to shill that, even if it means calling out Aaron Judge. So, I mean, I think it's disgraceful. And you're right, look, I completely agree with you. But it doesn't completely exalt Judge from some element of blame because he has gone to bat for Rizzo when he was clearly too old. He has gone to bat for DJ LeMahieu when he was clearly cooked. And he's clearly gone to bat for Verdugo when it was clear that his best days were long past him. So Aaron Judge may or may not be the best judge of talent. No pun intended. Well, all pun intended, actually. But at the end of the day, he is on an island, and that is on Cashman. Cashman could have done a better job with $330 million to put more talent around him. Failed to do it. That's on Cashman. It's not really on Judge. But let's talk some about this WBC because the USA team is close to being eliminated.
It's completely out of their hands at this point.
That's unreal.
I think it's Italy, Mexico that decides whether the United States
yep.
will move on.
Yeah, if Italy, the way in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, it's very nuanced. If Mexico scores 6 or more runs, then that'll eliminate Italy and because of the runs scored, then USA would get in. But if Italy wins outright, then USA is out. Some weird shit like that.
Yeah, there's lots of
win by 6 runs. It's really stupid.
By 6 runs.
It almost sounds like a hockey thing where it depends on how many points you get.
Yeah, in the standings, yeah.
Yeah,
it's too complicated.
Yeah, it's super complicated. The scenario is as follows.
Very weird. Yeah. I don't like it. You win, you win. You lose, you lose.
Let Lucas speak.
Yeah, I was going to say this scenario per ESPN. Team USA is eliminated if Mexico beats Italy and scores 4 or fewer runs in 9 innings. All 3 teams would finish 3-1, with Mexico and Italy then advancing to a tiebreaker. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. USA moves on. If Italy beats Mexico, Italy would win the pool at 4-0, and Team USA would finish second at 3-1 ahead of Mexico's 2-2. If Mexico beats Italy and scores 5 or more runs in 9 innings, all teams would finish 3-1 with Mexico and USA advancing. What is this? The NBA Cup? This is the NBA Cup now, where you got to score a certain amount of points to decide your next matchup.
Oh, ridiculous. God, that's so stupid.
The other man's heart is right here. They should have just copied soccer's rules. 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win. tiebreaker should be run differential. That's it.
I see nothing wrong with that.
That was just far too complicated and nonsensical. They got that wrong.
No wonder why nobody takes this thing seriously.
Exactly. How are we supposed to know what's going on? And like 4 runs, 6 runs, like what the fuck? Anyway, DeRosa has made a complete clown of this thing. He made a real clown of this. Like, he's gonna have to wear that if the U.S. get eliminated at any point prior to getting to the final. Then he's gonna have to wear that for the rest of his career, because that USA team is stacked to the absolute gunnels and talent. How has he managed to mismanage that? That's hard to do. Well, Boone could tell him what to do, to be fair.
It's not like, like after the previous WBC where we had the face off between USA and Japan, I thought Mark DeRosa really managed himself to a major league opportunity. Right, he really had a great run. So his confusion about where the rankings were. This isn't your first time in the tournament. You should know this already. Why did you think you already had the advancement in the bag? I mean, that's why I'm like, if there was ever, a Boone impersonation, hit right on the nose, that was it yesterday.
Right. Boone always thinks we have the American League in the bag, and then it turns out we lose the division.
Yeah, until June.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the best team in the AL until June.
Right. Then he manages it like we've already played. And then he wakes up in September. He's like, shit, we're behind. Yeah, that was the Boone and DeRosa, like, same thing. It's like that Spider-Man.
I think they're the same person in parallel universes.
Like that Spider-Man shit where they're like,
Yes.
Boone and DeRosa, spot the difference. Holy shit. That might actually be a disrespect to Boone, though. I mean, that was a whole different level, to be fair. Maybe even Boone would be like, damn, that's bad.
It's like Evan saying, bro had one job, he didn't know the scenario. Oh, what a fucking joke.
Exactly, it's one job. He also is.
But you know what? After hearing the rules about this, how these teams can advance now, no wonder he got confused.
He also has tons of assistants. His assistants couldn't go knock on his ear, going, just to let you know the scenario. What the fuck?
Oh, what a fucking moron. But, I mean, the rules are confusing as hell. Why they have all these little nuances is beyond me. So part of it now, like, you kind of can't blame them for not knowing what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Right. You shouldn't be watching the game going, are we winning? Or are we winning? Or are we losing if you're winning? Like that's, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be having to go on Twitter going, we're up by 3 runs. Is that good? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's weird.
But when you're managing a game, or you're playing a game, it doesn't matter if the game, if it's a pickup game in the park or, in the Game 7 of a World Series. You play to win.
Right.
That's what competition's about. You're playing to win. Now, you know what the other weird rule I heard was? If the pitchers cannot pitch and can appear in back-to-back games. Even for relief pitchers.
What?
Yeah.
Guessing that's some sort of injury risk bullshit.
Yeah, it has to do with the insurance.
Oh my god. Okay, well, that's a
weird one. But here's how I think they could solve this whole insurance problem that happened earlier, in this kickoff. So the teams' insurance companies don't want their players at risk, right? Why doesn't MLB have them insure the players? This makes off the team's responsibility. So they're, let MLB's insurance company handle it and not the team's insurance. So if anything happens, MLB absorbs the liability. If they want this thing to be so successful.
It's going to come off very greedy what I'm saying, but I don't think MLB wants to be responsible for like the other teams. Think about it. Guys in Britain, not named Jazz Chisholm, these guys are like, they have very much blue-collar jobs.
Right.
Australia, same thing. Netherlands, probably the same thing. Israel, probably the same thing.
Right.
So I don't think they're going to be as willing to say, okay, why should my insurance company cover some guy who's not even be playing baseball at the end of this after this tournament? That's what I.
No,
that's
say for the MLB players.
That's interesting.
The players in the MLB. That was the whole big thing. Was it who's the fucking player now? Name just left my head.
Which one?
Was it Lindor? That wasn't playing because of the insurance problem.
I can look that up.
I forget who it was.
Chris, I was.
Why doesn't MLB go? Night, we'll cover the bill. We want the best in the competition.
How is Jazz doing for GB?
Great question.
He's taking a nap. His team's done.
Good.
It's the truth.
I hope Britain lost like.
Because Chris Northrup pointed up in the chat earlier. Did you notice Sir Didi with the home run against DR, against Severino?
Oh, really?
Yes, I saw that.
That was, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he did not have a good WBC at all, Jazz.
He was 4 for 18, guys. 4 for 18.
That's no good.
Not good. No bueno.
That's what he gets for choosing Great Britain. What are we playing Great Britain for Christ's sake?
Let's close it out with this. So you know what? I'm gonna put a pin on it. I'll tell you guys off there. I'm gonna put this a pin on it. We're gonna bring this up on Friday on the open panel. All right, I'll fill you in after the show.
So what I will bring up is a shameless plug for Chris Northrup's debut show.
The Queen has returned.
Yes. You guys, her debut show is tonight, and I will be on the panel with
No. They want to know who else is coming on. They got to watch.
Oh, really? Okay.
I said there's going to be there's special guests. You have to tune in to find out who they are. Well, you'll be one of them.
Cool. Okay. So, no, thank you, Chris. Looking forward to it. She's prepared. She's ready to go. It's going to be a great show. So check your notifications and check her out. Check out her debut show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We met myself, Chris, and one other special guest who is pretty damn special. So
Yes.
Looking forward to talking ball with Chris Isaiah as my boy. So should be a lot of fun. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. So that's my shameless plug.
No, shame away. Yeah, we plugged her in the beginning of the show as well. But that is going to wrap things up for us today. I do hope everybody did enjoy the show as much as we did. Make sure you tune in tonight, 7:30, the debut of Chris on Northrop on the Short Porch, as she will have Donald and some special guests helping her kick off the new show. Stuff and things. What's your hours? Because we usually, it's usually the same time slot. But if we know what time you're coming, maybe we can kind of push it a little bit to give you a shot and give you the floor, because you make some great points and we do want to get you involved. For Friday is 9 to 4. That's tough. It'll be tough to make that arrangement.
Pretty tough.
Pretty tough.
I love when he does that. Pretty good. With
Pretty.
that, make sure you all hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. We enjoyed having all this laughter with you guys, venting, frustrating, and celebrating together. So with that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out with your friends, your family. The shirt is on the corner. Behalf of myself, Donald, Luca, hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you on Friday for the open panel. And we better see you all in the chat tonight. I'm going to be peeking in, and if I don't see anybody, they're in trouble. So with that, make sure you wear those pinstripes of pride and play hard.
Play harder than Mark DeRosa does.